Good morning, everyone. We're Bitae Technologies. I'm Gemma, she's Shana, and we would like to meet you Aya. Aya is a 17-year-old Syrian refugee living in Amman, in Jordan. One day, she wants to become a civil engineer. She has been taking a number of informal classes in graphic design and coding. However, when Aya gets ready to apply to university, she doesn't have a way to prove her learning and achievement. And if she wants to get a job, she doesn't have a way to prove her skills. Like Aya, there is a huge generation of refugees and displaced students that don't have a way to prove her past education or work experience to move forward. There is an estimated 60% unemployment refugee youth, and one of the main reasons is the lack of data on unemployment refugee, the lack of recognition mechanisms for credentials, and the high recruitment cost. Bitae offers a platform to build a verified, secure, and transferable CV leveraging blockchain technology. We call it a digital backpack, where the user can request verification of their skills, references, as well as credentials, and a skill matching with employer needs. This way, Aya can get verified her records and get a job. Our technology leverages self-sovereign identity systems using Uport software, as well as the tamper-proof credential system of BlockCerts. As well, one of the core pillars of our technology is following the GDPR standards and human-centered methodologies to keep the insights of our users in our product. So how this fits into our market?
Through our stakeholder interviews, multiple visits to the region, and extensive desk research, we've identified two key markets for this product. The first is global youth, and the second are refugees, because these are both populations that are growing. They're both populations that are struggling with unemployment and inequality, rising inequality, and also changes in the workforce. And the most at risk of this population, our case study per se, is global refugee youth who, without additional opportunities and access to education and access to employment, are going to be out of school and out of work indefinitely, being held out of the labor force and the workforce. We're zooming in on the MENA region for our pilot for a few reasons. One is that the region is struggling already with youth unemployment, a high level, the highest number of youth in its history, coupled with a 31% youth unemployment rate, and then also the most refugees per capita in each country. And so this combination of factors has created a group of refugee youth who we know from research have the skills for the market. They have computer skills, English skills. We have research on those things, but they're not quite getting to the next step, back into work or back into school as they need. Our revenue streams from a licensing and transaction fee model leveraged in the platform with our employers and our partners on that end. And then also from aggregated data from the insights that we can pull on labor trends, on skills trends, on this particular population, but then also on regional data. Our social impact, the KPIs we draw from IRIS and then also from the SDGs, and we're trying to focus on the access to education and access to employment, but especially income generation and income growth and upward mobility. So someone like Aya, what we're trying to do with this digital backpack is plug her back into the workforce, back into the labor market, and back into society in a way that she's now able to control her own data, control her own credentials, and control her own future. Our next steps are to pilot in Amman, Jordan in the spring, where we'll be building out this digital backpack and testing the use case. And then from there, we'll be expanding the platform and working to scale in other countries to help more people like Aya. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for a very nice presentation. So there are a lot of other players out there trying to solve the same problem. What does your competitive landscape look like, and what's your advantage compared to the others?
So yeah, we already did the mapping of the competitors. Some of them are using blockchain and credential systems, but they are not targeting refugees. And those who target refugees are not using the blockchain technology, which Uport, for example, and BlockCerts, which are providing this unique value proposition of the technology that we can do a double verification and we can keep the privacy of these individuals ensured. So we believe that the holistic approach that we're taking with the different softwares as well as the privacy methods are quite distinct from the other competitors. I could list all of them and do the analysis, but I don't think we have time.
I was wondering, what sort of employers have you spoken to? Do you know that there's a market of employers ready to hire?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your question. I think we've spoken to employers in the U.S., so we've done some stakeholder analysis in that respect and employer analysis in the U.S. We're working on trying to find more in Jordan because it is a more limited sector sort of restriction, and so we're looking. We've spoken to employment placement agencies in Jordan, and then a lot of the refugee, organizations. But a lot of the ones we've spoken to in Jordan and our focus groups as well, are doing outside of Jordan work. They're working online or working in distance, and so that's something that we're looking into and trying to figure out exactly how to target these skills, but within Jordan still.
What's the specific advantage you're getting out of working with Uport on self-sovereign identity over just running a database? What's the really specific advantage?
It's the self-sovereign identity where they are able to own their own data, edit it, and control. And
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what it is. Why are you doing it?
So why we're doing Uport instead of another?
Yeah.
So we first were looking at Ethereum and more like the smart contracts, and then we were assessing that of the gas fees. The prices were really high. Uport is cheaper. It's more efficient and fast. And we're looking also at sovereign, but for now, right now, based on what we're building, Uport is the most optimal one.
That's exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah.
Do you have any developers in your team, or do you outsource?
That's a great question. We're hiring. We have a lot of advisors, and right now we have 3 UX and UI designers, and also we have advisors that are web developers and software engineers. But we're looking for our CTO. We already have conversations with a few in New York, as well as in Silicon Valley. We're looking as well, and we preferably would like to work with refugees with this skill set.
Great. Quick question: how are you funded right now?
How are we funded?
Yeah. How are you? Are you bootstrapping it, or?
We're bootstrapping, and we had an initial seed investment a few months ago from our school at the end of our program.
Okay.
And so now we are bootstrapping and planning on friends and family next.
Doing a little fundraiser. Okay. Thanks very much, Bitae. Next up.